Alright boys, it's Orbital here, bringing the YouTube forum another impressive video showing how to achieve a great kill to death ratio while being a productive teammate. What's up forum, it's Orbital here, and if you haven't already read the title of this video, this gameplay is actually being brought to you for your viewing pleasure by the 18th best player in the world. Now, we're not talking about my friends list, we're not talking about that sort of rating system. We're talking about the actual leaderboards, the leaderboards with over, with everyone's gamer tag in them, with the 750,000 plus people that bought Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the Xbox. Yeah, he's number 18th amongst them. So you can only imagine, his stats, it's ridiculous. He has over, I believe, 10 days played, a shitload of fucking games played, that's for sure. And, before meeting this man, I only had, his stats to base his, reputation off of. But yeah, 3,200 wins, that is insane. I mean, I have 50-something wins at this point, at this juncture, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing pretty well, and this man has 3,200 wins. I was like, alright, maybe I'm not doing so well at all. And, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to get a few games in with this guy, He's like, yeah, dude, yeah, why not? And then he takes me to this. I was like, what are we playing? He was like, oh yeah, dude, we're playing multi-team Hardpoint. At that time, I was like, yo, I don't know what this is. I'm confused. I didn't understand what was going on. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, man. We'll get you in it. We'll get you back out. It's all good. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I can hold my own, hopefully, And so, I dove in there, and what surprised me at first was that he had he had me, he had a friend, and then it was him. And then we joined this lobby. And then I was just like, oh, that's weird. He's not running a lobby of 6 people, which is normal. So, yeah, we enter the game, and I first noticed, I was like, what, 3 different teams on the same map at the same time? My mind was blown. I was like, holy shit, I don't understand what's going on. The concept of having 3 different teams on the same map at the same time going for one objective, I was like, damn, this must be difficult as hell, I didn't understand. And so he was like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. We'll wing it. I'll teach you along the way, and, hopefully you'll grasp it fast enough. I was like, yeah, all right, no problems. We'll go through it. I'm hoping that I'm able to keep up with this guy, not weigh him down, but, help him up. And, he turned out to be a really cool guy. But, long story short, Hardpoint, multi-team Hardpoint, the way it's run, it's basically like domination. Because you have to capture a flag, sort of say, or in this specific game mode, you have to capture a location. And after capturing this location, you have to hold this location for as long as you possibly can, and that's how the winner is determined. So I was like, okay, yeah, I understand the concept. But then he was like, oh, but there's a twist. He then says to me, oh, well, the flag, or in this particular example, a location, is moved to 3 other spots of the map, which are pretty much, different corners of the map. So not one team can dominate the entire round. Or although, it's possible if you know your spawns and you know what you're doing, which is what this guy is doing. But then he starts using terms like, oh, but you have to milk it. I was like, milk it? He was like, yeah, milk it, man, milk it. He was like, I was like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. I'm not a dairy farmer. I don't understand what the hell you're trying to talk about. I don't know any cows. And he's like, no, man. What you have to do is this game mode. It's built in a way that's a little flawed. I said, oh yeah, really? How so? He was like, well, this, your kill streaks aren't determined by your kills. They're determined by points. I was like, yeah, that's right. She says to me, well, what happens is, if you manage to capture a location, that's 200 points. I say, okay, that makes sense. And then he says to me, well, if you leave that location, and then they overtake the location, and you manage to kill the guy that was in the location that was taken over, that's 350 points. Not only because you took the guy out of the location, you recaptured it, and so that's basically a UAV. Now that's a little confusing, but just imagine having that plus an Orbital VSAT, which is what he has on right now, that, my friends, is what you call a killer strategy. And in this particular gameplay, he's playing the Slayer role. You know, he has the big time kill streaks, you know, that gains a lot of kills, while his teammates have the non-lethal kill streak setup, which is the UAV, the counter UAV, and the orbital. So it's basically a non-stop UAV / orbital, and he can run whatever weapon he desires because he won't be detected on the enemy radar because they're running counters all game, you know? That is absolutely insane. And while all of this is happening, he's still capturing and recapturing the objective of the game. So now that I've broken down the elements about how meticulously he's playing his game, I want to go a little bit more in depth on how, you know, the strategy part of this game, specific this map. Now, I do believe there are 3 to 4 different spawn points on every single map. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. You know, obviously I haven't played enough, but I've definitely had enough experience to give you, you know, basic information, which is what I'm trying to give you right now. If you're ever trying to get into this game mode, which I suggest you do because the EXP that you gain is insane in the membrane. And so, you know, the spawn points on this particular map are 1 right in the middle, right where he's standing as of right now. 2, it's going to be, you know, right there now where he's standing right now. 3 is underneath the, you know, the main level of the ship, where he was, you know, camping it out before. And then 4, I do believe, is called the quote-unquote weight room, which is on the opposite side of the map. And, you know, that's, you know, what ends up happening is that there's a timer on the top left-hand side, you know, where the minimap is. What ends up happening is that they count down the, I guess you could say, the relocation of the target sites. So the way it's played, or it's meant to be played in a pro tip kind of way, is that, you know, you try to hold a specific location for as long as you can, obviously, and then when you see that the timer going down, you immediately leave wherever the hell you're at that specific point in time, and then you try to go to the next location to, you know, cap that flag before anyone else can. But see, the newbie people like me, I try to stick it out as long as I can, and then what ends up happening is that the opposing team are already at the location of the flag, because like I said, there are set spawn points. They will never, other than those 4 spots, they will never, you know, coincide with any other spots. And what ends up happening is that, you know, they've set up shop in the next spot, and, you know, that's tough to get in once, you know, your 3 members are, you know, specifically designed in every entrance of a room, especially in this particular map. Like if you have one guy facing the back, one guy facing the front, and then, like, let's say someone's on the balcony, you know, shifting from side to side, I mean, that's a pretty locked down. And if you have, you know, 3 marksman players on your team, I don't think you're getting in unless, you know, you're gonna go in there guns blazing with shotguns or RPGs. You have no chance. And that's what's great about this game mode. You build huge, you know, kill streaks, you build huge EXP, and it's really, really controlled. And that's all you can ask for, you know, as a player, you know, controlling your own destiny. In Modern Warfare 2, there was an issue. You know, you guys know that I love Modern Warfare 2. And rest assured, if you're here because of Modern Warfare 2 and I'm posting a Black Ops, rest assured I will be posting Modern Warfare 2 again. But the problem with Modern Warfare 2 was the game modes, you know, that had, you know, an objective, the dominations, the demolitions. The one thing that really screwed it, that really grinded its nuts, was the fact that there were noob tubes. You know, as hard as you tried to camp out a location, you know, the tubes were dominant. You know, they were the best. Which in this game, obviously, it does not have that issue. And what ends up happening is that unless, you know, you get really lucky, you know, you go in there guns blazing with a shotgun, you go in there guns blazing with an RPG, you know, a rocket launcher, odds are shit to none, you won't be able to cap that specific location. And, you know, like I said, all you can ask for as a player is to have control of your own destiny. And that's basically the gist of, you know, this game mode. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this commentary. Once again, Big shout outs to my man for letting me use this gameplay. If you guys enjoyed this commentary, please leave it a thumbs up. Please leave it a thumbs down. I really don't care, just so as long as you give me an opinion. This has been I Brought a Tense, bringing you top 20 gameplay. Signing out.